Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Tuesday, which means it is time for another Nozz Watches Log Horizon Season 2. Boy, so in our last episode, everybody got fucking killed. Shiro was taking a big old nap, and William decided to get everybody back on board with doing the raid by giving a big gamer speech, and as a result, all of the gamers have risen up, as was foretold. And I guess, it seemed basically like filler, but I mean, I don't know whether it was or if it was just like a big speech that they already had in the original novel or manga, whatever the fuck this comes from, light novel, and they're just like, well, shit, we can't cut this out, but fuck it, throw it in there. So yeah, I mean, hey, it was a good way to waste 18 minutes. But let's get in here and let's see if they can actually go forward, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, and go. Fucking smash cut in, and there's like fucking the second speech. It's speech part 2. Oh man, he's doing some scouting with his pet, my god. Oh man, costume change. Where'd you get that armor, my dude? Fuck, you been holding out on us using underleveled gear the whole time? Here's a thought, why not block off the gates? Like, they got druids and shit, right? Why not, like, use... Why not use something that can, like, latch the gates shut, like vines or whatever the fuck? Or summoning rocks or something. I mean, I would hope so that after a minute and a half you're in position. Oh boy, like a minute and a half, that's a decently long time. But yeah, like, if this shit's working off, like, real life rules now, no longer video game rules. Oh, god damn it. Database just has that immediate sleep time reaction in me now. It's like, oh, okay, all the cool stuff's done. All right, time to nap for a minute. Uh, yeah, like you'd think they'd be able to use like summoning vines or rocks or something to like break the gates so that the raid bosses either can't get in or it takes them longer to get in so they have time to kill the boss. You'd think that that would be like a thought they'd have, but I guess these guys are gonna go with their own plan that I'm going to pick apart and call stupid if it is. Because I will. That's just how I roll. I hate this song. I hate this song so much. I don't understand how people could like it. It's so fucking repetitive. And the fucking lyrics don't even mean anything. I still think it's a little silly that they're just like, okay, yeah, no, all the DPS just sit on your asses. Sit on your asses and do nothing. Like, dead ass, my dude. That is really dumb encounter design if that's intended. And also, it's gonna take so fucking long that a real raid boss should reach enrage by then. I mean, you super can. Like, huh. Only only reason they're doing it this way is because their healers are garbage. That's what I choose to believe. We're all game freaks. We designed Pokemon. I mean, how many times have you guys died? How much of your fucking memories are you missing? Do any of you just not remember Earth? Like, that's what I want to fucking know. How old is the little cat guy? Is he like one of those like 90-year-old guys that plays games? Like he's playing like the tiny little adorable cat creature because it makes him feel young, so he can seduce the youngins. I mean, it wasn't a waste because it's literally coming to your rescue right now. I mean, okay, so they're running through the gate. So you're gonna take on a raid boss with 1/4 of a raid group. Honestly, this sounds like the most complex and overthought through way to beat this boss. Is like I swear to God, like Shiro's plans, he makes the most they give them the most moving parts possible. Like, I mean, I get it. Like for anime perspective, it's like, oh, he's got so many moving parts to keep track of. Da, da, da. But like the best plans, my dude, are the ones that are simple. Damn, the NPCs learned how to sass. Goddamn. So is that the NPC he wound up marrying? Like the fucking okay, look at that loser fucking marrying an NPC. I can't believe it. So which means that this guy is the final boss technically, and you're sending 1/4 of your raid team. You're sending 1/4 of your raid team to just deal with it. Jeez, I sure hope you guys brought like the fucking damage. Holy shit. Okay, so it is new. They must have got it off a previous boss and just didn't bother equipping it for some reason. You don't get to tell the tank to move out the way, democracy. The tank is the one that determines where the boss goes. Fucking healers best use their cooldowns, huh? Man, Jesus, that's a fucking good ability. They better fucking heal him up. Holy shit. So they're gonna just use democracy as an off tank. Jesus Christ, alright then. She's not even casting a spell, she's just being she's being very encouraging. He should be. He should be. If she could, I mean, hey, if that means she sticks around. If that means she sticks around for even longer, alright, she can go ahead and join. Your guild needs a healer, my dude. You have a tank, a DPS, and a fucking support. You need a healer. You ain't getting shit done. And no, Minori doesn't count because she's 12. Well, I guess they fucked up a little bit. I love how fucking Luciette's in the background squatting like a Slav. So, what's going on with the with Luciette right now? Where's he at? What's he doing right now? Like, are they still holding him in the back? It requires the tanks to not be dumb bitches. That's really the main. I mean, my dude, that's just basic kiting. Like, that's not all that difficult. Like, the main thing that makes this a pain in the ass is the fact that you gotta deal with multiple raid bosses, but basic kiting and avoiding enemies overlapping their buff radii, that's like fucking rating 101. I would say rating 101 would be not standing in fire or void zones, but most people don't remember that one, so I'll say that's an advanced class. I mean, that's still a long ass fucking cooldown there, Shiro. Goddamn. So he just. So wait, so he just. So what he just did though, he just cut everybody's mana to make everybody be equal. So anyone, oh god, that's a really bad spell. Like if there's a healer that has, or if there's a caster that has spells that require higher mana amounts, like they're fucked now. Shiro just fucked them by stealing their mana. Like, and if there was a class that required a low mana amount, like an equivalent to an arcane mage, I think their attack goes up the lower their mana is, or some shit like that. I don't remember. It's been so fucking long. Like they're fucked because now their mana is higher, and they've also fucked other people because they intend to keep their mana as low as possible. Yeah, but except healers won't be getting that mana back because they're not fucking casting damage spells because they're already their mana is fucking nothing. Like Tetra only has like fucking literally 1/18 of her fucking mana bar left. Like that like fucking mana channeling thing is the fucking dumbest shit. Holy fuck. That's a that's a few. The boss is hurting himself. Oh, that's fucking great. Oh, that is fucking great. They left the boss alone, and the boss went, okay, well, if I can't find you, I'll fuck you up another way. You weren't supposed to kill them, my dude. He's going to. Did he. My dude, you don't fucking draw the enemy towards the support. What the fuck? God, democracy's a fucking asshole. God damn. Ah, they've discovered the secret technique that Tetra discovered. Equip a caster on your back for more mobility and range damage. Oh my god, that's fucking great. Just equip the wizard like a gun. Go, I said we need like there needs to be like a fucking MMO or like or something where you could where that's just a thing you could do. Like you're like a wizard or fucking another character could just climb on your character's back. Like that shit looks hype as fuck. Now, democracy is not listening. Oh no, democracy can't hear us. He's got earpods in. Democracy. He just wants Shiro Senpai to say his fucking name. Just read his fucking player panel, my dude. Come on. Well, that's a hell of a way to start a fucking conversation. Fucking throw the man down the stairs, why don't you? What the fuck? There's still a rage fight going on, Demicass. What the? If you could just get to the. If just getting to the fucking area is enough to clear the raid, then why don't they just fucking run past, like speedrun strats, my dude? Shit don't make sense on that one. Like, if all they had to do was reach this door, they could have just bolted. Oh man, he was here the whole time. Like, your boys are dying in the other room, Shiro. Like, you did not clear the raid. There are 3 more bosses. And by 3 more, I mean the 3 that your guys are currently fighting. Like, that shouldn't count. Like, that game master should be like, no. No, Shiro. You and I both know you didn't clear the raid. Get back out there and help your friends, because they're all dying horribly. In fact, I've turned off the respawn in here, so they're dying permanently. Fuck you. That'd be what I'd do. Because that's straight cheating at that point. God, imagine Naotsku and Tetra get back to the Akihabara and fucking Marie is just hyper fucking jealous. Like, cause she's just so clingy around him. Speaking of Tetra, come here, don't cling to the carpet. She's a Tetra as well. She's a very good Tetra over here. Oh. You want to hide her face. She's silly. But yeah, okay, so I mean that was a thing to come back to after the big gamer speech. Yeah? What are you doing? Are you a good healer? No? Nah, she's more of a DPS. And you're gonna 1v1 him as a support class. Gonna 1v1 that man as a fucking support class, because of course. Uh, the gold of the Cooney. Oh boy. Alright. So, this episode in of itself, I mean, it's mostly just one big raid fight, but, I mean, honestly, all I can really do is just criticize their fucking plan. Because, so, like, basically, they've killed nothing. They've killed nothing. So, like, so the way the raid was set up, like, initially, so it seems like you fight Luciat, you get Luciat down into his white mode, he summons a bunch of minions, but if you kill the minions, then they fucking refill his health and go back into him, right? And if you take too long, the gates open and two other bosses walk in. I can kind of sort of see the idea of what Shiro's doing. It's like, oh, only have 9 people hit Luceat, summon those, get those 9 minions out there and while he's in like a dormant mode, yeah, leave some people behind to kite the monsters and then run off to the other boss and kill the other boss. I can kind of see the idea behind that, but it also is assuming that Luciat is not also capable of following him through the gates. Turns out he wasn't, but they didn't know that. And honestly, what Luciat wound up doing is arguably worse. Like I'm gonna repeat what I said. I think the best idea would be instead, like, it would be to uh nuke Luciat down as hard as possible until he hits white knight mode, and then just have your tanks, because they've got how many tanks do they have? They have 2, 3. I don't know how many tanks. I don't remember off the top of my head. If they got 2 tanks, then have their strongest tank, their tank with the strongest cooldowns and best AOE control, take all the Shadow Vanguard, and like I don't know how many DPS they have, but so like assuming they were doing like a WoW style raid, like fucking like it'd be 25 people, they'd have 10 Shadow Vanguard. Have that tank take those 10 Shadow Vanguard to a corner and just fucking like hold them there. Don't do damage to them, don't use AoE damage. Just keep aggro and use cooldowns, and then have some healers keep them alive. Then meanwhile, have the rest of the healers focus on Naotsugu as he solo tanks it, and have the other DPS blow that man the fuck up, and like he'll be dead. I guarantee you he would be dead before the gates would even open. And then, assuming that things work the way I think they do, and the gates opening is an enrage mechanic, the gates would then not open, because if the other bosses are attracted by the sound of combat, then there'd be no sound of combat, because I'm assuming that when Lasayette dies, so do the Shadow Vanguard, because they're summons. So, like, honestly, so that solves the Lasayette problem, and then all they have to do is worry about the other bosses. And if the big dragon is the last boss before they can get to the goal, they could just do their second plan as they displayed it. Fucking go attack the dragon, go fuck the dragon up, and kite the other boss into the corner. They wouldn't need to worry about the Shadow Vanguard showing up. Like, the Great Cave is so big that they can kite them apart. And then they could just burn down the dragon, burn down the giant. They don't seem to have any ads, so it's easy. Like, it'd be way fucking easy. They literally just made the encounter harder for themselves for no fucking reason. And then Demikos went, "All right, I'm taking the raid leader and we're fucking off. I'm gonna kite the ads that we should have dealt with beforehand. But also I'm gonna ensure that we have no fucking coordination because the one guy that was keeping track of everything is now gone. Bye." Like, I appreciate it from a narrative perspective that like Demikos is being an asshole and he's like trying to get like Shiro to respect him. kind of doing it in a really dumb way though, and it did work out in the end, and now he's at the gold gate and he can basically get all the loot. But would it not be better to defeat the enemies first and then get the loot as a group, especially since it seems like there's a fucking boss right there, and Shiro is not a DPS, he's not even a tank, he's not even a fucking healer, he's a goddamn debuffing class. Like, I don't know, I feel like the writer's understanding of how raids work isn't quite functional. I feel like this man has never led a raid, or at least not without like fucking, or at least never fucking read a goddamn Deadly Boss Mods guide or anything. Like, oh boy, like I don't know, man. Like, and by the way, what I'm saying isn't just like fucking attributed to World of Warcraft, the baby MMO. Like, every fucking MMO I've ever played has the same sorts of rules with like minor twists, but there is never in the fucking history of any raid has there been, oh, just leave the bosses alive, it's fine. There's no fucking Undertale pacifist run for raid groups. Like, I don't know, like it really does feel like this guy is a very casual player of MMOs, and like once we hit the more I don't want to say hardcore because that's kind of cringe, but once you hit the more like in-depth bits of MMOs with like raiding and shit, like his understanding seems to have fucking fallen apart real goddamn quick. I don't know, my dude. I don't know. I mean, we saw Demikas's wife. I mean, hey, he could have done worse. And a lot of this was just like, oh, hey, costume changes and us figuring out things. I mean, all in all, narrative-wise, the plan works very well, but from a mechanical standpoint and an actual, like, this is how these sorts of things actually work, it's really fucking stupid, and it really does not make Shiro or the Silver Sword come across as these big dick, like, professional gamers that they're supposed to be. If anything, it makes them look like idiots that don't really understand how this thing that they're supposed to be super hyped to do work. Like, it really does make them look like idiots. And, I mean, if that's how Elder Tale makes raids, then fucking Christ, fucking how in the hell did it survive for fucking 30 years on the market? Like, goddamn, son. Like World of Warcraft is 16, and even then, like, it's creaking a little bit. Like, I don't even play World of Warcraft anymore. I went to go play the Old Republic because I like Star Wars more, and it's basically just World of Warcraft with a fucking Star Wars paint. And also, I mean, it's free if I don't want to pay. So if I don't want to pay 1 month, I could I'll just go down to free to play for this month. That's fine. But yeah, I don't know. Like, all in all, I like this episode narratively, but mechanically it's a fucking garbage fire. And that's something that I feel like we've been running into more and more as this show's going on. And I'm hoping that sooner rather than later, we either get to the point where we go back to the more casual, like, slice-of-lifey stuff, or the distinction between video game and real life breaks down to the point where game mechanics literally don't exist. Like, because that's what Overlord did. And, like, Overlord, I get the same feeling that the guy who writes it has a very, very general idea of how MMOs work, but when it gets down to like actual mechanical design, he's not super up on that. So Overlord like immediately throws the video game aspect out of the window so it can focus on the high fantasy elements, and which as a D&D player, from what I've heard, he's a lot more comfortable with. So hey, play to your strengths. I don't know. This is a very good kitty cat. She was wondering why I stopped petting her. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Like, very good mechanically. Mechanically, it's fucking bad. But that's only my opinion. So let me know what you thought down there in the comments. Whether you liked it, you disliked it, or you want to bring up something I left out, because that's entirely possible. Oh, boy. Remember to like, comment, favorite, subscribe, share on social media, tell your friends. If you want, you can always support me on Patreon, which is linked down there in the description. And it's also linked on the end card, on the list of all the people that keep the show up and running. There's some other goodies in there, but that's all listed on the Patreon page, so yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, as always, I am Nozz, and I'll see you in the next video. But most importantly, we've all become a trash mammal today, and I will see you around.